Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Trial by Izzy. Thank you for your company. Thank you for, I have another 2 subscribers. I'm so pleased, so chuffed and grateful. Thank you for the views. The views are increasing as well. And I'm just trying to keep up with this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. There's just so much going on. And can I please ask before I go into a wee read here, just to bear in mind the description that any readings I do is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing can be taken too seriously. It won't stand up in a court of law. And if you are experiencing any triggers from the evidence that's been stated, or the allegations that have been stated in the trial, please seek help from a professional. And I'll come on to that just now. But, looking at this, I've had to cut and paste some of the information I've got here. So, I started off, it's really about the Potty Mouth. And in my day, if I said a word that was not approved of, the first thing I'd be told was, I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap. When I go on to the evidence given by the security guard, Travis McGivern, you'll see why I started, I brought this back to me. And that is, it's a traditional form of physical punishment that consists of placing soap or a similar cleansing agent inside a person's mouth so that the person will taste it, inducing what most people consider an unpleasant experience. This form of punishment was especially common in the United States and the United Kingdom from late 19th century until the mid 20th century. Okay, and then in 1953, I'm getting this from Wikipedia. In 1953, Wisconsin judge Harvey L. Nealon fined a Miss Mertz $25 for her drunken obscenities and noted that she should be required to wash her mouth out with soap. In 1963, a Michigan judge, Francis Castellucci, ordered Ruiz, who had been found using obscene language around women and children, to wash his mouth out with soap before leaving the courtroom. A similar case in October 1979 saw a New York resident choose to wash his mouth out with soap rather than serve 10 days in prison for his disorderly conduct and obscenities. And you'll find that in washing out the mouth with soap on Wikipedia. So how accurate that is or not, I don't know. Just as well, did they have that in Fairfax County, Virginia? Could the judge turn around and say, well, potty mouth individuals, go and wash your mouth out with soap? So today, the reason I'm referring to that is Depp security guard Travis McGivern. He said, allegedly, in his words, you name it, she spewed it. Johnny Depp's security guard described how angry Amber Heard blasted the actor as a deadbeat dad and a washed up, in quotes, and allegedly struck him with a closed fist during a disagreement at the couple's LA penthouse. I've got to watch what I'm saying just in case I don't get through YouTube. I'm actually thinking of doing a wee bit on YouTube and algorithms in relation to a book by Philip K. Dick, because I think there's connections there. Anyway, I'm getting carried away. So, so the security guard Travis McGivern was the first witness to testify, telling the court how he was forced to intervene in the couple's as the couple's disagreements increased and became more interactive, shall we say. And he said that while he typically tried not to listen in on the bickering, he often heard lots of name calling and F bombs directed at Depp. I heard Miss Heard call him a F deadbeat dad, if I can say that. I apologise to the court, he said, before continuing. F, washed up, F, something with a C, you name it, she spewed it, allegedly. This is for entertainment purposes only, it won't stand up in a court of law. He also described how Heard had allegedly struck Depp in the left side of his face with a closed fist as he tried to remove the actor from the penthouse during an altercation. Earlier, and I've covered this in a previous one, earlier it was reported that Amber Heard had fired her PR team. And then we're going to, as I say, this is triggering all sorts of things as well. We've got the evidence about of the alleged interactions going on that's playing out in people's lives in real time. And then we move on to that Drew Barrymore has apologised for joking about Johnny Depp's defamation case against Amber Heard. While discussing the proceedings on her talk show, some people on Twitter took issue with Barrymore laughing about the subject matter, including one person who said they'd lost all respect for the actress. How would she feel if people laughed at her childhood trauma? Another person said, I love you, but what is this? Abuse is not funny. Barrymore, this article continues, has met Depp before and has interviewed his actress daughter Lily Rose Depp on her show. Shared a video message on Instagram apologising for making light of the situation. It's come to my attention I have offended people with making light of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and for that I just want to deeply apologise and appreciate everyone who spoke out, because this can be a teachable moment for me and how I move forward and how I conduct myself. I can be more thoughtful and better person moving forward, because all I want to do is be a good person, continued Barrymore. I very much appreciate the depth of this, and I will grow and change from it. And I thank everyone for helping me grow along the way and teaching me. Thank you. So it's just as well, she's not getting soap and water for laughing. And other individuals for the alleged comments. So I'm going to use the Mystic Mondays cards. I've been given them a good shuffle, and I've got this for Drew Barrymore. I'm going to pull one card for Drew Barrymore. Okay, so as I say, it's just going to be 5 cards. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's currently underlying the situation? I've got the 6 of Wands in the reverse. And this is from security guard's point of view. So how's he feeling? He's having to give evidence. What was the underlying influences that he was feeling personally? And we can see the 6 of Wands is actually in the reverse. So this is the overall what's been influencing him just now, as I say. And then, as I say, once we do this, we'll do a soul learning card for Drew Barrymore, just to see if she's learned anything. So, with this, I don't know if you can see this. This was the underlying influence, and basically, he's probably feeling a bit out of sorts, you know. Apprehensive given the evidence, and realises that I think at some point he felt guilty. I might be wrong, go back and watch it. I think he said that he felt he should have intervened sooner rather than later, that his job was to protect his employer, Johnny Depp, from these alleged incidents. So I think he was apprehensive because it was a relationship with a spouse. You know, it's not like someone, a fan, suddenly coming in and doing something inappropriate and he has to intervene. So I think he's still carrying this and he's looking to rebuild his reputation. And he's aware that shame, a feel of shame. This was played out in public. There was a public shame going on, but it can rebuild. So this is how the security guard is feeling just now. It's apprehension. It's been played out in the public, and he feels shame, and he knows that it's a rebuilding of reputations that is needed. So this is how he's feeling giving evidence. So card number 1. On the evening, what were the influences affecting that night when the security guard had to intervene? And we have the Ace of Cups in the upright. Now usually the Ace of Cups is a good card, it would be a celebration card. But it can also be what was happening that night. It can be a very emotional card, emotional expression. It could have started off looking at a happy evening, free flow, pouring feelings out, and this might have been at the start of the evening, the start of the event. Everything was hunky dory, party time, a little drink, a little glass of wine. Everyone was going with the flow. So that was the start. So how did he feel about witnessing the incident between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, the alleged incident between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp on that night? And what we're seeing here is we have the High Priestess in the reverse. So the question we asked was, how did he feel? So he felt that he was having to second guess what was happening that night. He was having to act on his instincts. There was a lot of buzz going on. There was a lot of heightened emotions in relation to the circle that was around him, because it wasn't just Amber Heard. I believe her sister was there too. So what he saw was there was neglect following on from the party. It switched into neglect, a loss of the higher vibe. It went into a low vibe situation. People had lost sight of their wisdom. They disconnected with an inner voice. I think we all do that. Sometimes we have one drink, we're okay. Two drinks, oh, we're quite happy. Three drinks, ah ha 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 ha. Four drinks, and we flip. We lose sense of reality. So, this is what he saw going on. This is how he felt that people, you couldn't negotiate with him. How did he view Amber Heard? Well, he thought Amber should have been portraying the upright, the hierophant, the institution and tradition, and that she's quite woke as well. And she enjoys being in the groups. But at the same time, she doesn't really enjoy sticking with the rituals and the rules. So she really should have been in contact with her higher self, as I say, following on from this. He had thought that possibly this is the image that Amber portrayed as the hierophant, the institution, tradition, and honouring rituals, and looking for a sense of acceptance and identity. However, I would say this was shaken, and it turned into what he was looking in front of, staring in front of him was someone who was a rebel, who had just switched almost like personalities that night and lost sight of their higher ground. The Hierophant is also the Taurus card, and Amber Heard is a Taurian. And a Taurus, again, can be very stubborn and not necessarily listen to authority. So if he comes in as an authoritative, as a security guard, and I'm not saying throwing his weight around, but saying, look, this needs to stop, I can't see the Taurian being happy with that. So I think there was words said there as well. So how did he view Johnny Depp on the night? And Johnny Depp is coming up as the Princess of Wands. And it's almost like a pole dancer. I'm not suggesting that he's a pole dancer, I have to say, but that's the image that you get there. So, because that flipped into the reverse there, the Princess of Wands, and this is how he's viewing Johnny on that night. And what he saw was him moving from this creative individual who was free-spirited and has a spark, and obviously he's an actor, he's creative. He saw it just flipped. He just saw someone standing in front of him who is or was just totally deflated on the night, looking paralysed, numb, shock. But what he did do since then, obviously, is to try and turn that around. So that's how you viewed him. Initially, creative, artistic actor, singer, I think, got a band, draws, paints, and that night it was just total deflation. It was almost as if he didn't recognise the person in front of him, and I think that was a bit of a shock to him as well. So how does he think the security guard, what does the security guard think that outcome's going to be? 7 of Swords in the upright. So, swords can be more secrets coming out. It can be the lying, thieving, stealing, cheating type card. It's sneaky, sneaky. Be careful who you confide in, as you might not be able to trust them with your secrets. So, I think the security guard knows there are more secrets, and there's more secrets that are going to come out. And that's his concerns, is how these are going to play out in the public. So that's going to be interesting, but certainly his view is, with the trial, the outcome as it progresses, there's going to be more sneaky behaviour. Secrets are going to be revealed. Lies are going to be told, and underhanded methods are going to be used. So that's his concern in relation to how the trial will turn out. So just moving on to Drew, who's had a bit of a tongue lashing, by the sounds of it, from her fans, because, as I say, some people, this will be a trigger point. And I still say, I don't know how they have the tenacity, that determination to keep going through this, through the trials. I can only imagine how exhausting it must be. Looking at the defence team looked shattered last week. Oops, there's one. And here we are. Denial. Okay, so maybe Drew Barrymore was in a bit of denial, but she's acknowledged, on my life, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight of awareness. And that's basically what she said in her press release. She's going to learn and grow and toast marshmallows over an open fire and hug trees, and all will be well again. Okay, can I say, folks, thank you for joining me again. I hope you've enjoyed the reading today. I hope you will consider subscribing. I'm trying to do a wee bit pin money. If I could figure out how this works, I don't know yet. I'm just a wee pensioner from Central Scotland. To pin money, to put aside to do a wee Route 66 trip. And I might even get to visit Johnny Depp. I doubt it. I think Travis, the security guard, was saying, "Is it? No. Stand back from Johnny. You are not getting anywhere near Johnny." Such is life. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day. Take care. Thank you. Bye.